So it's your first time in a public gym. No matter what your goal is, you're going to need a plan. When I walk in, I'm going to do A, then B, then C. If B, I can't do B, I'll do D, etc. You get the point. Well, I hope you aren't at the gym watching this and instead are at home or at least on a car on your way to the gym. But anyway, when most people go to the gym, they have one of these two very popular goals. Either one, build muscle, or two, lose fat. I'll be covering both in this video, but first I'll be covering how to build muscle. If you want to know how to build muscle, you need to choose a split. While there are many, and I mean many, splits, in my opinion, there are really only three good ones. The first one being push-pull legs, second one upper-lower, and third, full body. For push-pull legs, on push you hit chest, shoulders, and triceps, with the exception of rear delts. On pull, you hit back, biceps, and rear delts. On legs, you hit, legs. If you're curious, abs and obliques you can fit anywhere you want in this thing. For upper and lower, again, it's exactly how it sounds. We hit upper body one day and lower body the other. Full body is also exactly how it sounds. You hit full body every day, with it being varying. Like, let's say you hit chest and legs on one day, then you hit back the second. It's like that. If it's your first time going to a public gym, you need to start simple. I'm not saying don't push hard. What I'm saying is don't choose way too many exercises. So let's say you begin with a push day. The three things you want to do is something like bench press, shoulder press, and then maybe some skull crushers. If you want to begin with a pull day, something like a row, a lat pull down, and some kind of curl. If you can do legs, some type of squat, Romanian deadlift, or a calf raise. When it comes to pushing hard, there's this thing called IRR, reps in reserve. 10 IRR is 10 reps in reserve, 9 RIR is 9 reps in reserve, 8 RIR is 8 reps in reserve, etc. What you want to aim for is at least 3 reps in reserve, and if you want to, none, going to failure. When it comes to the rep ranges, again, there's this thing called the 8 to 12 hypertrophy range. But if you do 8 to 12 reps, assuming the reps in reserve thing is also being applied, you should build more muscle, which is overall generally true. Although you can build muscle with upwards of 25, maybe even 30 reps, and as low as 3. But if you go lower than 3 and higher than 30, it begins to become either more damaging or just cardio. You also don't want to be overly strict with your form. I'm not saying swing around the weight and eagle lift, but you still want to allow some slight liquid fluidity movements in your training. You don't want to be a technique robot, which quite frankly will either keep you small or keep you using such absurdly low weight, they're not really doing anything. When it comes to rest days, it's kind of your choice here. I've seen some people be able to handle 1 or 2 rest days per month, and some people need 1 or 2 rest days per week. Do keep this in mind. Genetic plays a huge role inside of lifting. Don't go full black pill and just say, I can't build muscle, my genetics are bad. It's more like a guy who's 6 foot definitely has an advantage over a guy who's only 5'7". Before I go into diet, also try to avoid these optimal movements like the one leg, one arm, bicep curl bent over on a Bosu ball. Most of those just either don't work or are so inefficient, it's just pointless. I'll save a few future videos for diet and vitamin and such. But the basics is pretty much increase your protein intake and increase your fat intake by a little bit, but mostly your protein intake above your caloric surplus, which for the average person somewhere ranges from 2,000 to 2,800. For men, it'll be higher. For women, it'll be lower. Again, experiment. There's no one size fits all. Okay, here's the fun part. Supplements. Most supplements, and listen to every word I say, are completely useless.
No, unacceptable.
Fat burners won't do anything. Beta-alanine.
And now it's time for
Bait-Outie!
with Laddie, the part of the show where Laddie comes out and sings.
Bait-Outie!
So without further ado, silly songs with Laddie.
Bait-Outie! Works amazing for Coach Greg. Not everyone. I don't like an itchy butthole. As Cián keeps saying, oh, it doesn't work. Bait-Outie, itchy butthole. Greg's fans are scratching their asses on dumbbells because they're getting an itchy butthole because they're not getting any gains.
Most of this stuff won't actually do anything. There's 2/3 good ones. There's protein powder, which only kind of is a supplement, will pretty much just increase muscle growth and get that protein intake in, which is good. Also, try not to get the ones with a bunch of sweeteners in it, because those are not really good for you. As well as creatine, which has been pretty much uncontroversially good for you. Also, try and go for creatine monohydrate, because most of them won't really do anything extra. Do keep in mind you don't need either. If you're getting enough protein powder won't really do anything. And creatine is kind of just to add on. It'll increase your growth by 5 to 10% if you're lucky. It's not going to give you steroid-like boosts in your gains. Now on to the second goal people have usually, which is fat loss, which is a little bit more simple and yet more complex than muscle building is. Training for fat loss is also still pretty straightforward. Progressive overload. Run faster, walk longer, lift more weights, etc. The main difference is the diet. Unlike in muscle building where you want to increase your caloric intake, if you're trying to train for fat loss, it's the opposite. Find where you are, again, from 2,000 to 2,000 calories, depends on the person. Find what that is and lower it by a little bit. If you do too much, it's gonna hurt you too much. If you do it by too little, well, it's not gonna do anything. As well as fitness is a lifelong journey. It's not just staying in the gym for a few times. It is a lifestyle change, meaning it is for life. Now, at the end of the video, with all of this in mind, I hope you take everything I said in this video and make the best goals of your life and turn it into a lifelong journey of just working hard and improving yourself. Thank you for watching.